Hello, beautiful humans. I'm Jen Madrone, and today we're going to talk about something that happens in the awakening process quite often, and it's when we just feel like we're on that crazy emotional roller coaster of transformation, that things are just super up and down in our life. In the past, in other videos, we've talked about the waves of awakening, where there seems to be different stages or waves that come through where at some points we feel like we're making huge leaps and bounds in transformation, and other times we just kind of feel stuck in the void, like nothing is happening, and maybe even like we're going backwards. But today what we're talking about is a little different from that, and this is the day-to-day ups and downs, the day-to-day waves of awakening, and that point in the process of transformation where we just feel completely unstable. We might feel like the rug has been pulled out from under our feet, or I always had the image of being held upside down like from a 10-story building by my foot just being shaken loose, like all of the old shit is just being like shaken out of my head, and I don't know which way is up or down. And when we're going through this process, we can quite often, and this can last for a couple months to a couple years, of just feeling like we have nothing stable to hold on to. We're on this emotional roller coaster where for many days we may feel a deep depression, which is not quite depression. It's something a little bit different than the depression we felt before, because there's so much movement happening with it, but it's so painful, and it can make us just feel like we can't function, like we're just flat on our ass. Maybe we're crying for days, maybe we're just staring at the ceiling, and maybe we just have zero energy to do anything, or we have a lot of varying emotions coming up, whether it's grief or anger or whatever it is. And then we might have a day or two of feeling pretty good, feeling pretty stable, maybe even feeling really blissful and happy once these things have moved through. And then in the blink of the eye, we're back into that pit. We're back on that roller coaster. We're back like just wanting something to hold on to and cling to, and some stability in our life. And this part of the process is really an important part, and it serves a few different purposes. And what's happening is, when we're going through the awakening process, there's massive amounts of energy moving through us. We've been opened up. The channels that shut down at some point in our life are now opening, and we have all of this energy that's moving through our body. And as this high vibrational energy moves through our body, it contacts anything that's of a low vibration. All of the old shit we've been carrying with us for so long, the old programming, the traumas, everything that's shoved down, whether we remember it or not, is being contacted by this high vibrational energy, and it can't exist, so it's being transmuted. This process of transmutation is like a detox process. And so really, when we are experiencing these deep, crazy emotions during the awakening process, it is a emotional detox, and a mental detox, and an energetic detox, and often a physical detox all at once. And so that's why it can feel so incredibly intense. And the other purpose that it serves is that it is literally shaking us loose so that we have nothing to cling to. Because for most of our lives, we built this false foundation, built on the ego, built on lies, built on limiting beliefs, and we've clung to them. We've used them as our support. We've used them to tell us we're safe, everything's under control, all is good, even though we know on a deeper level that it's not true. There's something way off. And so this process of the emotional roller coaster is really to shake us loose, to make us let go of everything that we've been clinging to. Because awakening is about being free. It's about not clinging to anything, because it's realizing that we don't need to cling to anything, that it's all here. It's all right here, right now. And when we release that hold and that grip and that, just fearful security, then it can feel insane at first. But then when we really surrender to the process and we really surrender to what's happening, we find that flow of life. We find that flow from our spirit. We find that flow that happens when we are deeply connected with our authentic self, that we're no longer moving from the egoic mind, and we're moving from the authentic self. And we are in the flow of life. And that is when everything changes. And that is when everything opens up. But this roller coaster, this being shaken loose, being hung upside down by your foot, is an essential part of the process. And so the less that you resist, the more graceful it will be, the smoother it will be. And sometimes it can be impossible to not resist, because it's so difficult in the moment. But remind yourself that this is part of the process. You are transforming, you are changing, you are detoxing, and you are moving through it. But if you feel like you are really stuck, if you're tired of being in this quagmire and this up and down, and you want some help moving through it, then please private message me. We can talk and see if the work I do with my clients is a good fit for you. Because at this point, it can be really essential to get help from another person to help us see more clearly what's happening and move through it gracefully and powerfully and deeply connected with ourselves. So I'm sending love to all of you who are on this roller coaster ride. So much love and appreciation for all of you. It's an incredible place to be, exciting and frightening all at the same time. And I just love you all so much, and thank you for listening. If you have any questions, please just leave it here in the comments, and private message me if you would like to chat some more. All right, I love you all. Have a great day. I'll see you in the Facebook group.